protruding eye queens! Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to make your life just a little bit easier by breaking down the most intimidating part of any eye look, the eyeliner. And these tips are going to be just for my protruding eye queens. So I'm gonna make like Aaron Burr and drop the niceties and get right into it. Hamilton reference? Anyone? Okay. Okay, so the good news is that eyeliner can and does look amazing on our eye shape. But there are a couple different factors to consider, like the thickness of the lines you draw, where you place the eyeliner, the color you're using, whether to draw a wing or not. And I'm gonna break all of this down, but we're gonna start with where you should place it. I think it's smart to always put a little bit of color on the lower lash line when you have protruding eyes. It makes any natural shadow you already have under the eye work for you and look intentional, and that goes for eyeliner too. But when it comes to placement, I think on the top lid, your eyeliner should touch or almost touch the inner corner of your eye and then come out to either connect to the outer corner or the wing if you so choose. And the reason for this is that by drawing a longer line from the inner to the outer corner of the eye, you're bringing that horizontal dimension we've talked about in previous videos and almost elongating the eye, offsetting that 3D dimension that you already have going on that's forward and back. It ends up making the eye look a lot more balanced. Now for the lower lash line, I've always been someone who just kind of hits the outer third of my waterline and calls it a day. And I actually think this is a very valid method. It can end up making the eye look a little bit more awake and a little less tired, which sometimes also comes with our eye shape because it looks like we have bags under our eyes. And if you taper that just right so that the eyeliner fades right at the apex of the eye, it almost looks like it's stretching around the largest part of the eye. And for my beginners, I actually think that this is the easiest way to go about doing eyeliner. However, there is another option that you can kind of play with, and if done right, looks amazing. Notice how both Mila Kunis and Lucy Hale in these photos have neat, smooth, thin lines all the way across their waterline, and it looks great. If you wanted to try this look, I would recommend that you use a pencil eyeliner that is not too stiff. You need something that is a little buttery that will glide on but also not be too messy. You may already have something like that, but if you don't, then I will have some eyeliners linked in the description box down below with little descriptors next to them for what I would kind of recommend using them for. Okay, so that's kind of it for placement. I think both of those options are going to be really, really flattering on any protruding eye type. But next we got to talk about thickness. As a general rule, I think average to thin thickness of an eyeliner line looks best on most people, especially when drawing a stark line that you're not smudging out. Super thick lines can make the eye look kind of heavy if you're not careful. Also, this is a tip that I think kind of falls between both thickness and where to apply the eyeliner, but I see people very often when they're drawing the line kind of bow the eyeliner at the middle of the eye, almost like make a little hook at the top and then go back down. I would not recommend doing that for our eye shape because when you bow it up like that in the middle, it almost makes it seem like we're pushed even further forward. And I just don't think we need that. I think it throws the eye off balance. I would much rather you just follow the natural curve of your eye. So just remember to keep it relatively straight out to the corner where you can wing it out or just leave it, you know, whatever you want. Now, while on the topic of thickness, there is actually a way to kind of cheat and create a thick line with eyeliner that actually does look good and flattering. And that cheat is to smoke out the liner. Take a look at these pictures of protruding eye queen celebrities that kind of have this look going on. This technique is actually genius when you think about the dimension that it creates. I mentioned in another protruding eyes video that light colors bring features forward on the face and darker colors bring features back. And since we have protruding eyes, we need a little bit of help making our eyes look a little more pushed back. This technique not only defines the lash line to make your eyelashes look a little fuller and thicker, but it also smokes that rich black color up onto the lid to create a shadow effect that actually kind of helps to achieve the dimension and like pushed back look that you might be going for. So it's sexy and it's multi-purpose. Be careful, however, just be warned that this kind of technique does actually take a little bit of practice. It takes a little mastering before you actually get like, you know, this kind of look that we might be going for. However, I do actually feel like I've practiced it enough to get to a point where I've kind of mastered it. So if you guys do want a tutorial video, just let me know down in the comments below and I would be happy to make one for you soon. But before that video comes along, if you are wanting to try it out, I think the best tip I could give you now would be to maybe try at least your first few times using an eyeshadow as an eyeliner and just get a good smudging brush that you can use that's kind of dense and not too pointed. You also want it to be pretty small. And then you can just kind of practice using that brush to buff in a shade that you like for an eyeliner into your lash line. I think for beginners, trying a smoky eye like that usually goes over better if you use eyeshadow instead of an eyeliner because eyeliner dries down differently. Now let's talk about color. Depending on the eye color you have, there are actually going to be eyeliner colors that look better on you than others. But overall, I personally think that everyone should have a really nice black liner and a really nice brown liner in their makeup collection. Blues, purples, and greens all can look absolutely gorgeous on your eye, but they do take a little bit more skill to master, and I'm trying to keep this video relatively beginner friendly. So obviously I am wearing black eyeliner today, and I personally think that black eyeliner is just classic. It can be worn alone for a stark cat eye look like this. It can be smudged a bit and worn with shadow to look a little more earthy and natural like this. It can also be played up to look a little more sexy and glamorous like this. Whereas brown eyeliner can be a little bit more forgiving and usually looks best when it's worn generously and smoked out, kind of like this, or when it's applied in a really thin layer that hugs the lash line like this. So to really just break it down and make it obvious and easy for you, if you are someone who really likes to draw defined, stark lines, then I would recommend getting a black, either like liquid liner or a felt tip liner. Whereas if you are someone who really likes using kind of earthy, smudgy vibes, or you like smoking out your liner a little bit, I recommend that you get either black or brown in like a pencil eyeliner that's a little buttery, that's going to move. Also, I'm just gonna throw this in at the end because unfortunately, I don't really have an answer for you on this question, which I know I'm gonna get asked. If you are asking if a wing or not a wing is the way to go, both. I really do think that both look great on our eye shape. It really just depends on what you want to go for. We have such a gorgeous eye shape, you and me, we're blessed with it. And so when it comes to wings, I genuinely think that you could do absolutely anything you want. Just have a ball, girlfriend. You do you. And lastly, just remember that you are gorgeous. Your big eyes are an asset and they deserve to be loved. And if you have made it this far in the video, just know that you are part of this protruding eye queen family now, which means that you have to rock those puppies with pride. And I personally think that you are absolutely stunning. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. That is it. Don't forget to leave any suggestions that you have for protruding eye queen content in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next video.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes.